Why does my dad put a wig on a skeleton dog's face?
Why does your dad do anything? I mean, really. Why does your dad do? Oh, sorry. What is happening? Who did I just let into the group? Linda. Hi, Linda. Long time no see.
Yeah, life's been rough.
I'm glad to see you.
It's been rough.
Glad to see your happy face.
Yeah. I'm hanging in there. I need one of those Rodney cocktails. I still don't understand why he doesn't do delivery. I'm just like,
right.
Like, what is the matter with him? I don't understand.
Oh no.
That was interesting tonight, huh? That was real interesting.
Yeah, I actually had did not know what to expect. I know David, well-ish, been in shows with him, but I didn't know a lot of that history, and it was great to.
Yeah, I don't know him well. He's just such a little, to me, he's such a baby. He's like so cute. And he's just so sweet. But I love him. He's such a wonderful musician. He really is.
Agreed. 100%.
And I have a picture of him I was trying to find that came up on my Facebook that I wanted to post. I don't think I even knew who he was at the time, but it was some concert I'd gone to, and I was taking a picture of somebody else, but it came out, I was like, oh, that's David. He's there with his cello. And I'm like, oh, I know him.
Yeah, I had gone to the Bush Library for the first time, and this was like a year and a half ago, and just happened to be, I guess, Brazos Orchestra or some orchestra playing, and I was like,
it's the Brazos, not the one where you pay a lot of money, the other one. That's the same thing. I went to I think it was the Episcopalian Church on George, I still call it Jersey, George Bush. And I was taking a picture of a different friend of mine. And I was like, oh, wait, there's David. He's playing the cello. And I also love the cello.
Oh, yeah.
Teaching Spanish, this is my trivia question. I give the kids money if they can get the answer right. So everybody knows who I call him Yo Mama, but Yo Ma, I'll say Yo Mama. But who taught Yo Ma cello? Because the guy who taught Yo Ma is Hispanic. It's Pablo Casals.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody ever knows it. Yeah.
I know the name.
If you know Pablo Casals, you get $10 if you know Pablo Casals. I've given out maybe $20 in the last 30 years.
Right.
So when David comes on, I'm going to ask him who taught. And then my other question I ask after that is on the cartoon, on the old cartoon, which we're too old for it. But if you had kids, well, you probably had kids that age. Do you remember the old Arthur cartoons?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting yelled at. Hold on one second. I'm an idiot.
Go ahead.
I didn't send. So you have the link stored, right?
Yeah, I have it. Yeah.
Yeah, and not everyone does.
One, yeah.
It's the same one always.
Okay.
And I don't know why people are yelling at me.
If La Vieja can find it, they can find it.
So I'm getting yelled at.
If drunk old lady can find it, y'all can.
I know.
Like
I got distracted because I hadn't seen
Rodney,
you in a while.
I'm mad at you.
Talking.
Why? What did I do?
You never bring me the cocktails. Like all you need to do is drive by and put it on the porch. That's all I'm asking.
Okay, I'll do it.
Although I do not want the botanicals. Like everybody likes botanicals. I hate them.
But it's kind of amazing. Like I've drank like gin martinis and different stuff like that, and I'm just like I don't understand the I just don't understand it. I'm just like you could.
But you also love Topo Chico, and I don't like Topo Chico.
Well,
because it's too clean. I need bitter. Everything I drink, I have to put tonic in it.
Well, and whenever I first, whenever I do research for what drink I'm going to do, I read lots of them. And so I thought that I need to buy tonic. So I actually have tonic in the fridge. I always thought they were just interchangeable. I thought sparkling water, tonic water, seltzer water was
not at all.
And I found out that that's not the case. And I still haven't tried tonic water. So I need to
don't fall into the rich white people, Fever Tree, tonic water, all that. Go get the 97-cent HEB tonic with lime.
That's what I got. I didn't get it with lime. I just got the normal tonic, but
it's magical. It is, and it is kind of Topo Chico with lime, but that cracked me when David said the lemon lime Topo Chico.
Yeah.
Hey, have you ever seen the old cult classic Attack of Killer Tomatoes?
You know, that shows up on my Amazon Prime all the time.
You would love that. You need to watch that. Because that's what that reminded me of. There's a moment in the movie where he's incognito and he's trying to infiltrate the killer tomatoes, and he says something about pass the ketchup, and the tomatoes are like, and that's when David said lemon lime Topo Chico, and you guys are all like, ah. No.
Yeah.
It was bad. Poor David. He was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, not the non-Topo Chico people, unless it's Adrian Rao.
Well,
because Adrian
my
Rao,
favorite in Mexico, my favorite sparkling. I'm trying to think of the name of the one. I think it was the Michoacan, or I can't think of the name of the sparkling I like that's in Mexico. That's super cheap. But yeah, no, I'm a big tonic fan because I love that quinine and I love that bitter.
Yeah.
Ask Adrian about the cocktails we had at my house on MLK Day. I put way too much vodka in. And Adrian and I were fine, but Stacey Erskine, oh my gosh. She was gone. Fu and I had to drive her home. I basically put champagne. So because she said she was going to give you the recipe. I did mulled strawberries.
Yeah.
And then I marinated them in the vodka till the strawberries lost all their color, and all the strawberry was like into the vodka.
Yeah.
And then poured champagne over it. But I forgot you're supposed to add like Sprite or something to like cut the. I didn't have any. I just did vodka and champagne. I totally forgot you're supposed to put Sprite or 7-Up or Topo Chico or something. I didn't do that step. And it was like, and Adrian and I were fine, but Stacey was like, she was gone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel too good. Somebody needs to drive me home. And I was like, oh yeah, I think I forgot to put the it's bad. And then poor Mark came home and we were all like, hey, Mark. Good times.
Yeah.
And Adrian and I were fine.
How's school going?
Not good.
Yeah.
But somebody needs to drive me home. And I was like, there's David.
Somebody's.
Well,
Felicidades, David.
how are you doing?
Congratulations.
Like,
I'm so.
I feel like
I'm
two
so
drinks in. She was.
What'd you say?
I said 2 drinks in. Stacy already needed a ride home.
Oh yeah, we were talking. Yeah, that's my bad.
I was watching.
I just told Rodney I totally forgot I was supposed to put the 7-Up or the Sprite in. I didn't do that. It was just vodka and champagne.
I thought it was delicious.
We were fine.
Stacy must have not eaten that day.
No, she's always been a lightweight. Yeah.
Sorry, Dobby.
No, it's okay.
It's not okay.
More so, the reason why I need the link is because I need to do it right now. I post the invite for people to join. So I don't have it saved because I got a lot of other things to worry about.
I got here.
I learned from Cody
David.
Arn to go just to an old Diva Dad's post, and because he uses the same.
That's what I did.
I just
That's
saved
what I
an
did.
email draft.
Can I eat dinner now on camera?
Yes,
Absolutely.
you can.
Yes.
Yay.
Absolutely.
You can be Mike Kilgore. You can be Mike Kilgore tonight.
Show us your vegan meal.
Is
Yeah.
it vegan?
Yeah, it is. It's a chipotle crema sauce with some mushrooms and roasted corn and some vegan cheese. I got some guacamole right here to top it off.
That sounds good.
Nice.
So, how do you make vegan crema?
Cashews.
Oh,
Bless you.
So I don't remember what the occasion was. Did Shay leave? Did she just someone?
Yeah,
She's going to bed soon.
Oh,
She's
okay, that's fair. She works. I don't remember what the occasion was, but David made dinner for me and Brittany, and it was literally like a 4-course vegan meal. No, the dessert was not vegan.
It was like a big ass cake.
It was like this 3-tiered like coconut, like something hummingbird cake. Is that right?
It had like, I think I tried to do a riff on a tiramisu. It had like coffee and liquor.
Yeah.
Somehow I don't remember.
It was really good. The whole meal was amazing.
Thank you. It was a
good.
practice date.
I think we referred to it as that was your practice date. It was good. It was good.
Okay, David.
Yes.
I have a trivia question for you.
I
was telling Rodney this before you came on. I do this every year with my students in Spanish class. I'll give you $10. Or Dana, I told Dana before you came on. I'll give you $10 if you can tell me. Everybody knows who Yo-Yo Ma is. But who was Yo-Yo Ma's teacher?
Ooh.
Hint, he's Hispanic.
Hispanic? Was it Papa Casals?
You get $10 the next time I see you. Get $10. Yes.
Yay!
I'm so excited. You rock.
Thanks.
I love cello. It's amazing. But nobody ever knows that answer. You're awesome.
Oh yeah.
Why is
Papa
Chewbacca?
Casals,
What
we
is
discovered the box sweets.
Yeah.
This is really random.
Also, I always
go ahead.
Okay, here's
Go
the
ahead,
follow-up. David, here's the follow-up.
Uh-huh.
What animal was portrayed for Yo-Yo Ma on the cartoon Arthur?
Arthur?
Do you remember Arthur the cartoon?
Yeah.
That's probably not his generation, is it?
I mean, I know of it. I never watched it.
Okay. So
Too
yeah,
young.
you're probably too young. Is he too young? He's a baby, isn't he?
No, I think
No, he's not.
old. He's too
Arthur
old. I
was-
think.
Talk about
Remember
Arthur.
Mike-
You remember
Mike-
Arthur the Aardvark?
Yeah.
And Yo-Yo Ma has a guest appearance?
I don't know. Was it a fox?
No. You get another $10 if you know Catherine. I'm trusting
I
you, Catherine.
don't know it.
David.
I know I don't know it.
David Manuel.
I've never watched Arthur, so I don't know.
What?
I'm gonna say a mouse.
Foo.
Sorry, I'm typing. Hold on. I wanted
Googling
to say
it.
that it was a frog, but I don't remember. But I do
He was a
remember
rabbit. He was a
Arthur.
rabbit.
Ooh.
That makes
No,
sense.
Yo-Yo Ma was a rabbit on Arthur.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yo-Yo Ma was a
Did you
rabbit.
get $10? David, I owe you $10.
That seems weird.
It was, oh, well, Arthur was weird.
What
Yeah,
animal
but
would
a
not
rabbit?
be
A
weird?
rabbit doesn't seem like that type of
Asian?
instrument to me.
Asian.
I'm serious. Like that doesn't seem right. I'm just
That
saying.
whole show was crazy. Yeah.
Oh, I
All
had
right,
to.
but I owe you $10, David. I'm going to be quiet now. I'm going to mute myself, but I owe you
Don't
$10.
mute yourself,
You don't-
Linda. We love
no,
talking
exactly.
to you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Speaking of animals, a podcast that people need to listen to is
Mark Maron.
me and Mark are a little on the outs right now, but Mike Birbiglia,
Why?
oh, he just needs to get over it. Okay, like
I'm sorry, his partner died.
no, I'm not talking about that. He can wallow in that all he wants to. He needs to get over. There's some political stuff he needs to just get past. Like
David, that's gross.
we got a new administration. Like just.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
So that's fine. No, Mike Birbiglia has a podcast,
I like
and
him.
he had Frank Oz on his podcast, and that episode was awesome. So even if you're not a fan of Mike Birbiglia, which I don't know why you wouldn't be, but because he's hilarious. But his interview with Frank Oz was awesome and I didn't even realized that Frank Oz, some of the stuff that Frank Oz did, like he did Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, and
Which is a great musical. Side note.
it's a musical.
Yeah, it's a really good musical. John Lithgow was in the original cast, and I got to see him. Point. It was great.
Good night, Shay. Nice
Hi,
to meet
Shay.
you.
Thank you for joining our show.
Okay, I was gonna ask while she was still in the room, but like, I guess we can ask with her out of the room. Okay, come back in. Okay, so I want to know.
How in the heck did he do this? Oh, wait.
No, specifically. Okay, so we joked about this, but y'all met on Hinge.
Uh-huh.
Hey, what was in his Hinge profile that made you swipe?
I liked that he was a musician. He seemed well-rounded. And I have to say, I tried kind of blowing him off a couple times because we had been talking and I was like, I'd already done like one Hinge date and it just was awful. And I was like, nah, I think I'm going to chill out. And David just did a really good job of like, he kept hooking me back in and our conversations were so I was like, all right, fine. But then, so I actually really, really almost ended it whenever I found out that he's allergic to cats because I'm allergic to dogs. And I was like, this is never going to work. I need to just end this now. And I was like, oh, it's just the first date. It's fine. It's not like I'm marrying the guy. I'm just going to go out and have fun. And like, here we are living together and we're both allergic to each other's animals and getting married. So
time to pick out a lizard.
I know. Oh. Mm-hmm. Him being allergic to cats almost ended our friendship. And so when I heard you were allergic to dogs, I was like, this is not looking promising, David. I'm sorry.
I literally had texted after he told me. I was like, wait, are you joking or not? And I had texted one of my really, really good friends. And literally both of our responses were only just like us laughing for like a good 2 lines because I love my cat so much and everyone knows this about me. So we were just like, yeah, nah.
I've been taking a lot of Allegra.
We have been.
You had a like a natural thing that you were trying for a while when it came to allergies. And it was like turmeric or something like that. Just also Mark Maron joke.
There was, I forget what it was. But yeah, there was some stuff. It worked for a bit, but then I'm like, I need some actual prescription-y kind of drugs.
But I will say, I do feel like in the beginning, it was both really terrible for both of us. But our motivation to hang out, because, it was like so new and exciting, was high enough that it overcame that part. And now our bodies, I feel like, have adjusted.
Yeah, I feel like we're like adjusting. I don't have to take it as often.
Yeah. It's like, maybe once a week it'll hit one of us really hard where, we're just like, we look like we're sobbing or something. So, but overall.
Side note. Look at this beauty who got her hair cut by someone other than me for the first time in a year.
Looks like a different dog.
Yeah.
I know, right? The girl was like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, fix everything I've been doing for the past 12 months.
So she just like,
you're beautiful. Okay. You can go back to sleep.
Funny story, just about a mutual friend of yours, Katie McCulloch, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So she's getting married.
Yes.
Soon. In
May.
May. And she's a nurse friend of Shay's. And she's actually the one, I'm pretty sure, convinced her to go on our first date together because she saw me in Rock of Ages. Right?
No, she saw you as Riff Raff.
Oh, she saw me as Riff Raff.
And
yeah, okay.
Oh, this guy's been tagging me on Hinge, and I mean, he seems nice, but I don't know. And she's like, well, let me see his photo. So I show her, and she's like, I know him. You have to go on a date with him, Shane. You have to. And I'm like, how do you? I thought that she personally knew him by how excited she was.
Oh my gosh.
How do you know him? And she's like, Brent and we saw him in the show. And she's like,
okay,
singing. And she said that Brent, her fiance, and her just like looked at each other and were just in awe and shock. And she's like, it was the most beautiful male or female voice that we've ever heard, and you would both go gay for it. You have to go on a date.
Okay, but hold on, there's more to this. So Katie, before, like, she attended stuff at the theater every once in a while, but the reason that we know Katie is because she was Randy's nurse in ICU. And so I spent a lot of time with her for like a good solid couple of weeks, but Katie came to the funeral. And I saw her and recognized her and was like, hey, come sit by me. Like, thank you for coming. And she had told me, and I think she told Cynthia, that Randy was the first patient where she ever felt the need or the call or whatever. He was the first patient where she ever felt it necessary to go to his funeral. And so from that moment, I would like, hi, welcome, like your family. And so then she started coming to shows, which was just amazing to see that. But she also, her daughters came to kids camp. And I don't even think you knew her at that point, David.
No.
Because her oldest girl did Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's this weird, I've never met this person
Yeah.
ever. And then I met her in the hospital, and then y'all have this connection. That's amazing.
It is
Kevin,
BCS.
another
I mean, come
hashtag
on.
because of Randy.
Yeah.
Hashtag because of Randy. Yeah. No,
I
I
have a-
remember the first time I met her is when I walked in, and he literally said, this is the one I've been telling you about. This is the one I've been telling you about. She's going to take care of everything. And I was like, am I what? Sorry, Dana, I cut you off.
No, it's fine.
I know.
Segue to something in the show. You brought up theremin,
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
which is
yeah.
I actually played in a band called Douche Magoosh for a while,
Because why not?
and like he would run his theremin through his footboard, and like with one hand doing stuff on his guitar and the other hand the theremin. Like it was insane, and it was beautiful. Like the stuff he would do was just crazy. But there's people that don't know what a theremin is, so I want to share that right now.
This is hilarious. I just found out about this tonight at a church trivia night. This is hilarious.
There you go. That's a theremin. The most
But
bizarre
how?
thing on the planet.
But how?
RF.
How?
All like electric magnetic fields.
Yeah.
Radio frequency and
Tesla. It's all
electromagnetic
Tesla
fields.
stuff. It's
Wait, who has one and can I play with it? Because this seems amazing.
I don't
They
think
have
we know
kids
anybody
that
who
do
have
own.
one. They're pretty expensive.
But I think you can make one.
Yep.
I think that
Well,
yeah, I think it's
If
something
you
that-
sell enough magazine subscriptions, you can get with your points a theremin built.
you can simulate it. I mean, every synthesizer has every Moog. Well, they don't call it Moog anymore. That's 1960s. What do they call them now? Whatever they call it now.
What?
Every keyboard or whatever you kids call it has a theremin setting on it. But just watch the Dave Earths still or any of those like old classics. They all have it. Yeah, it's the best thing. Yeah.
I was at a church trivia tonight, and literally one of the questions was, what is the only musical instrument you can play without touching it?
Theremin, 100%.
The answer, yes. That's the first time I'd ever heard of it.
What?
Never heard of it.
But
Are
it
you
totally
kidding?
takes
Are you
skill.
guys
It's like
kidding me right now?
trombone,
What?
right? Trombone. Where do you leave the slide for the note? Well, it's the same thing.
Good
with
night,
theremin.
Shay.
Hi.
Bye.
Night, Shay.
Well, I'm just really old. How do you not know what a theremin is?
I don't know what a theremin. I've never heard of it.
What?
I
Yes,
have
you
never
have.
heard of
Yes,
it.
you have.
like
No,
Spear.
you just didn't know the name for it. You've heard it. It's in every single sci-
Possible.
Okay, watch every cult sci-fi classic. It's all theremin music.
You mean like Bloodsucker's
I
Planet?
said, watch this, and
It
I
might
don't.
be.
Wait, hold on. Bloodsucker's Planet is playing at something. Hold on. I just saw this and I was going to say something and then I forgot. It's at some weird.
That was good, Foo. You just did a theremin sound. That was good. That was it. You did the theremin.
Hold on. I have to see what this is because I've got to look it up. What an adventure. Oh, okay. That's why it was funny. It's the Prison City Film Festival.
Prison City.
Yeah.
Where's that at?
I don't know.
Huntsville.
But we're featured.
Congrats.
Also, I haven't actually received it yet, but I know it's been sent. I got like a royalties check for it.
Ooh, money, 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 money.
Not really,
Okay.
but
All $10.
it's more of the gesture, and that's great.
So the Beach Boys song Good Vibrations.
Yes, Good Vibrations has
Where it's
theremin.
going,
Dana,
that is theremin.
that's a theremin, yeah.
Interesting. I thought it was cocaine.
But it was cocaine.
Probably was a little bit.
They
Dana,
did a
you
lot
were
of drugs.
you were too young to even know that.
Me? I was a huge
No, he's not.
Boys fan. God
Yes,
Only
he
Knows
is. He's
is one of
way
my
younger than I
top
am.
5 songs of all times. God
And
And
Only
you're
God
like
Only
way
knows.
too
Knows.
young
I
for that.
love that song.
I do
So
too.
much of my Beach Boys songs that I like have nostalgic like pings to is because of shows at SeaWorld.
My mom was
So
raised in
sad.
Corpus, so
That's gonna make me cry.
you know.
SeaWorld?
Yes, SeaWorld, and that's how you know Beach Boys.
It's how I knew Beach Boys. Oh my God. Okay. We're gonna take a
That makes me
segue,
really
and
sad.
it might be a little.
This isn't
interesting.
about you, Adrian. It's about David.
It is about
Bill?
David,
Hey,
but
David.
also he doesn't like talking about himself, so I'm just gonna talk for a second.
Hey,
You will
hey
yield the
David,
rest of
there's
his
no
time.
cello in the Beach Boys.
There are in the Beatles.
There are in
That's
the
true.
Beatles.
Oh, yes, so true.
So there was a guy that contacted the theater company a few months ago that was like, hey, I've done all these things, let me help you, like I'm great, so many things I've done have just been amazing, so you should let me like do things
Maybe.
with you. And I made
Oh,
You're not
connection.
supposed to say every conversation we have on the telephone. Like
This isn't about you.
it sounds
anyways.
familiar.
It's not.
Okay.
So I made this connection with a woman who is like wanting to help us with some things. And we had a conversation, and she used to work at Fiesta, Texas. So we had this like very fascinating conversation about how like when I was a kid, my career goal was not, I want to be on Broadway, I want to win a Tony, I want to be in movies. It was, I want to be in the Rockin' at Rockville High show at Fiesta, Texas. That was like the
Love
extent
Good
of my
show.
Oh, same. I used to ditch my family when it became like within an hour of showtime. I would ditch my family, whether they were riding rides or having pizza or whatever they were doing. I would ditch my family to go stand in line to make sure I was first to go like pick our seats for Rockin' at Rockville High. So I met this woman, and she was like, oh my God, I used to do all these things for Fiesta, Texas. Like I was part of that show. And I was like, tell me everything, because I remember all these songs. That's how I got to know the song, I'm the Greatest Star, which now I know is a Barbra Streisand song from Funny Girl. But when I was growing up, all I knew it was like the Act 1 finale of Rockin' at Rockville High. But she was like, so side note, there's this guy, and I'm not going to say his name right now, but I'll tell you later, who was the like entertainment director at Fiesta, Texas, who I now know like lives in the Brazos Valley, who is kind of a problem and had lots of complaints against him, who used to cause a lot of issues with the females that worked for the entertainment. Like watch out for him. And I was like, okay, good. I'm going to remember that name. And then like, hello, let's look at an email of someone who was trying to work at the theater. And they were like, oh, this is my name. And I was like, no.
Good catch.
Yep.
TG, he mentioned Fiesta, Texas in his application. So I could be like, oh, no, thank you. But also, if I worked at Fiesta, Texas now, I would be so happy. I'd be so happy.
I mean,
I
not
love
like,
that show so much.
not
It'd
like
probably
right,
take you.
right now would probably be rough.
I mean, right now, yes, but also like, regardless of what's happened to that place, it's still my happy place. I got my first kiss there. I love it so much. When I was a kid and I had like done all my homework, that was like my treat, because we had season passes when USAA owned it before it was Six Flags. USAA owned it, and it was this amazing like refuge. And so when my brother and I were good, or we'd finish our homework, my dad would come home for work and we would go to Fiesta, Texas, like in the evening to like ride rides and hang out and see shows. Yeah, it was this amazing place. And now it's a freaking Six Flags, and that's terrible. All right, carry on.
I mean, like that's a tough act to follow, Fu. I got nothing. I mean, like, you said it all, like.
It's just a Snapchat into my childhood dreams. I remember my dreams being shattered at some point when the girl who played Peggy Sue, which was like this role within the show that I was like, oh my God, she's amazing. She's so beautiful. She's so fabulous. And then over Thanksgiving, before Six Flags owned it, and it was still a USAA owned like arrangement, and the music was still live and amazing, there would be like traveling groups of like chorals. So there was this group that would sing, and I saw Peggy Sue, who was a very white blonde girl, but over Thanksgiving, she was tanned and in a wig with braids, and she was freaking Pocahontas. And I was like, that's not right. That's not okay. Dreams shattered. Is that Mark that just walked by? Hi, Mark. You're muted.
I think I saw Mark outside of Gold's Gym the other day as I was leaving work.
Linda, you're muted, but Mark, hi.
There.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Mark.
For anyone watching, another great episode is the Mark and Linda show. That was
The Mark and Linda show.
Yes,
It
it's
is
not the Diva Dads with
24/7.
Mark and Linda. It's the Mark and Linda
24/7.
24/7. Never
Also,
stops.
the Dad's Giving episode where they sang.
That was awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
So good.
Oh,
Right.
He really does love me.
You've stayed your hour. Go on.
And the
this is
Topo
my
Chico.
type, Piano Man.
You may have said this on the show because I jumped in late because of the church trivia thing I was at, David. But what was kind of your first professional music thing or gig or whatever?
My first professional music gig. Other than some weddings in high school, it would have been in the symphony when I was a freshman in college, 2006. Yeah, I think our first, it was really memorable because it was the first full symphony I ever played. It was Mahler's First, which is really cool because that's where the theme Frère Jacques comes from. Or like, I guess they use that in the theme of the symphony. It was really cool.
My mom wanted to know, and I told her why you don't play funerals more.
I've done a couple. They're really,
Yeah, I know.
yeah. Because I don't want to cry. Like it's so hard.
Hey, David, so you started doing stuff with the Brazos Valley Symphony in 2006?
Yeah.
Okay. That's about the time when y'all did stuff with like the ballet people for like okay, so I definitely danced for that.
Really? Yeah. We did Nutcracker and the children's concert.
Like the Peter and the Wolf and the Carnival of the Animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely danced that.
Well, that's
Like
awesome.
the first few times that we did it, I was in that first group.
What character were you?
I was when the Carnival and the Animals, I was one of the like fish people on point, and then I was one of the like horse trainer things for the circus bit.
Oh, that's cool. The aquarium of the Carnival, that was my favorite piece. It's so beautiful. It's like
I was the goldfish with the orange and the yellow, and yeah, that was fun.
That was my favorite one.
I feel like I came to see that at least once. The Peter and the Wolf.
Yeah, you came when Dominic was dancing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I
that
did
was
it
really
before
good.
Dominic.
Yeah, he always does the wolf and like.
I did it with Catherine Pope
I love Catherine Pope.
when she was the duck.
Oh,
I was
and now she
the water.
is a straight up goddess. Oh my gosh. My dad says, yes, USAA and Opryland managed the original Fiesta Texas. And I said that you just come on the Zoom, stop doing this. And he says, I'm too comfortable on the sofa. Maybe next time.
I mean, he could come on his phone. He's got his phone.
Okay, so side note, and I don't know how y'all feel about this. So I've had two people talk to me about the fact that they would love to come on Dads After Dark, but because of Dads After Dark being a slightly more like adult themed / whatever, they're not comfortable. And so they would come in they would be willing to come in like after the live stream, but then at that point it's too late and they're like old and tired. And I'm not talking about my parents. That's not a joke. I'm actually not talking about my parents.
But did you tell them that it's not really adult? It's just
because we're still live on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's that it's live on YouTube and that there's alcohol involved and they may or may not be teachers or other things.
I mean, I'm a
Food
teacher.
for thought. Food for thought.
Yeah, I just don't broadcast that I jump on here all the time.
I'm
We
a
literally
teacher.
have
Nobody's close to
66
me.
subscribers. I
But
mean,
yeah, are
really-
the 11 people who watch.
So
That's in
I
half
do
of
not
this
I do
one.
not disagree with you. Just food for thought.
But so are we gonna have a every once in a while we'll do a curse and drink free show?
Family friendly.
I was
I mean, I'm down
thinking
with that.
that it would be
Marcus.
awesome to have a TTC Teens Diva Dads episode where we have just like a round table of the TTC teens.
No.
Actually, I was thinking that the other day because I've been talking with Abby Quinn,
Yeah.
and I was actually thinking the same thing. I think that's a great idea.
I put it on our little contact info sheet.
I haven't seen that yet, but I'm sure I will.
It's on the
Crossover
potential
things are always
potential
big
guest dad
and
tab.
stuff, so Diva Dad's TTC Teens crossover would be awesome. I think.
Yep.
Oh,
So I have some questions for David.
oh.
There's a question we ask of our guests that are in shows with all three of us at some point, and that's what is your first impression of each of the dads?
Ooh.
So what show and what was your first impression?
Well, okay. That I actually acted with y'all.
Acted or a part of the show, pit, it doesn't matter.
I think so the first time I met Mike was my first show with Sweeney Todd. There were a lot of people in that show, so we didn't really get to like chill too much. And Mike was kind of quiet back then.
What do you mean back
Like,
then?
No. You think he's quiet now? He was like a hermit before. Nobody knew who this guy was.
He just
It
showed
was
up.
actually
and-
fairly intimidating because he was a lot, no kidding, like he was a lot heavier then. So he was a very intimidating person that we didn't really know.
He
Yeah.
just showed up, filled the doorway, moved the things, and then would disappear. And we were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, try catching him when he came down the chute. I mean, good crap, that was my first impression of him. But anyway,
I think it was in
And he
Rock of
broke-
Ages,
Parker!
Look how sharp that boy is.
looking
Got
great.
that nice hair.
Everybody go crazy about a sharp dressed man.
Yeah.
And then for Dana and Rodney, I think it was both in Mamma Mia, right?
No. Well, that we acted together, yes.
Oh yeah, acted together. I guess My Fair Lady was that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was really impressed with like the little, was it a trio quartet?
Quartet.
Yeah. I was really impressed with that. I was like, ooh, there's some guys that can sing. I was like, hey, I'm enjoying this. Well, I mean, like TTC, like it's a very-
when Ed showed up, it was great.
When Ed was on stage and not taking pictures when he was supposed to be on stage. That's awesome.
That was one of my favorite moments. Is I'm like, where the F is the quartet? And I see Dana and David, and then I hear the clicking of a camera, and I turn around and there's Ed, and I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
That's why I put you in charge of finding them, Dana, because I didn't have the brain capacity to handle that
No,
and
that's exactly why.
maintain
And
the
you
rest of
almost
everybody
lost me
else.
too by both you and Dobby saying you're in control of those other three.
You were the one we could find on a consistent basis. Therefore, you became in charge.
Anyways, David.
Anyway, yeah, I was really impressed with your voice the first time I heard him. Like, dang, dude can sing. And then like Rodney, I think the first thing I was a little intimidated by Rodney just because I didn't know him, and you like this big full beard, and you're like big burly man, like macho man. And then I don't know, and then I saw you dance in Mamma Mia. I'm like, oh, this guy's kind of cool. He's got some moves.
I would absolutely say he is the best dancer of the 3 diva dads. 100%.
It's a low bar.
It is, but you know, that little white stuff around chicken shit.
That's $1.
Oh, crap.
Dollar.
Okay, Parker, sorry.
Parker, why are you dressed so fly today?
Because today was the 100th day of virtual school.
Ah,
That sounds terrible.
No,
I have
it's
no
not.
idea.
Actually, yes, it is because there was a talent show and most of the talents were bad.
what about you? Did you perform?
I was good.
Of course you
sang
were.
What did you sing?
my very first audition song, Little People.
Oh, so good. Okay. Carrie sent me a snapshot of you singing at School of Rock today. What were you doing?
I was singing my songs for Sunday band
So
concert.
Diva Dads minus Mike, but plus all the people that are here. Parker, what time is the School of Rock show on Sunday?
2 p.m.
And where is it?
The Palace in downtown Bryan.
Oh, is it at the Palace? I thought it was at Smitty K's again.
Mm-mm.
Okay, the Palace, downtown Bryan, we there. I'm supposed to be in New Braunfels, but I will hopefully be back by then so that I will not miss you. Because the last concert was amazing. What's up, Anna Catherine?
Nothing. How is everybody?
Oh my God, Kate Mitchell. How are you?
I'm okay.
Haven't seen you.
How's
in
your
a
arm
minute.
feel?
Yeah.
It's really sore.
What happened?
She got the vaccine.
Baby. Yeah.
Did it really hurt?
The vaccine felt fine, but
Oh.
it's really sore now. So like I actually have a pretty good thing to base it off of because this year I also got a tetanus shot and a flu shot on the same day. So like I have that compared. Like I was only like maybe 3 or 4 months ago. And I was pretty sore like the second day, but I got it this morning, is way more sore than the others, but it's not like horrible. I mean, it's definitely worth it. My body's just taking it, doing its thing. So we'll see how I feel tomorrow.
That's amazing.
Do you know which one you got?
Moderna, the Dolly Parton one.
So how come we didn't get a When Kate Cries today?
Okay, hold on. But here's the thing is that normally I tell her who is coming on in order so she tries to cater the When Kate Cries to the person. But it was David. She's only seen David on stage in a limited capacity. And one of them was Sweeney Todd.
I was gonna say Sweeney Todd. There were lots of tears in that one. But a good time not a good time, a funny time that I cried during that show was whenever they let me go down the chute.
I didn't even do that. That was scary.
I couldn't not. You know what I mean? Like when life hands you a chute, you go down it. And they were like, this is what you do, and your hands need to be like this, and da da da. And I found these flailing limbs found some way to like hit and I cried. And
you weren't the only degree.
Huh?
David, do you remember what happened the first time I had to go down?
No.
You were terrified. You were
Oh yeah.
So here's what compounded to me being terrified and having a complete mental breakdown before having to go down the chute. So our set designer essentially bailed on us at a certain point, not because he was a flake, but because there was like a lot of things going on in his life. Plus Randy being sick he was very affected by that. Yeah. So we had the house, but we didn't have shut up, Siri. We didn't have the other logistics figured out. So Dean, our set designer, bailed on us. Whatever, it's fine. And so I contacted a whole lot of people to basically say, help me. So I contacted like Josh Olsey, I contacted Rich Bradford. Chaz Macklin had yet to design a set, but I knew like what he was studying. So he was kind of involved in the process. And I was like, someone help me because we have to accomplish these things. Randy is not here. I don't know what to do. So like someone help me. And every person who I brought was like, so that's not possible. Like, this is not possible. Like everyone said that like where the house is, how the house is set up, there is no safe way to do this. And I was like, all right, cool. We're doing it anyway, because like, it's kind of a plot point of the show. So we do it anyway. Chaz comes in and makes a chair, but as far as the shoot goes, it's literally a free-for-all. And the reason why I felt like I was somewhat capable of understanding it is because in the previous Sweeney, I had been in it. We literally, the slide we used for Seussical was from Sweeney Todd, because where the like shoot was, we had a little children's slide that allowed people to like go down the slide and like into foam. It was fine. We didn't have the angles in which to do that with this house. And because our set designer was like a no-show, I was like, I assumed that there was a plan for this, but I don't know it. So here we go. So me as a like I don't know, like / assistant director / making it work / like whipping boy of the show, I was like, everything's fine. There's going to be a hole in the house and here's this thing to catch you and everything's safe and fine. And I let other people go down it. Forgetting that I also...
Yeah, Chaz was the first one to test it out because he was like, I made this chair. I'm going to be sure that I'm going to be the one to go down first to make sure it works. And I remember getting a bunch of foam from some of my kids' friends who worked out at Reynolds and Reynolds or something. It had a bunch of foam stuff. And so I brought it and we put it up into pieces to make
We put it in the mail cart from How to Succeed in Business. It was the mail cart from How to Succeed in Business.
Like foam and a bunch of extra fabric. And
yes, as many blankets and fabric as we could put in there. But in my head, I'm like, everyone told me this is unsafe. Everyone told me this is unsafe. Sure, everything, it's fine. Go down the chute. And then they were like, all right, you're the beggar woman. You also have to go down the chute. And I was like, and I had a complete, like, David, I know you were there. I had a complete, like, a mental breakdown at the top of the house. Like, I literally, hands over my face, was sobbing.
Yeah.
Heaving.
I remember it. I remember it very well.
Because simultaneously, like, my mentor / friend is in the hospital and we don't know what's going on, but you're fine. Just take over the show. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's okay, right? Yeah, everything's fine. And that was the moment that everything became not fine. That was the moment that everything became like, what have you done? And I had a complete mental breakdown and finally Chaz was in my ear telling me, everything's okay. People are down there to catch you. Everything's gonna be fine. And I finally was able to go down the chute and it was awful.
How many times did you have to do it?
Every show. I had to die in that chute.
No, in every rehearsal and
no. And every time, like, granted, the mindset that I was in that show was not healthy. I'm not a method actor by any means. I am not someone who tends to like lose myself in characters. I'm always able to separate like who I am versus like who I'm trying to portray. But that show at a certain point, because of like the weight that I had on me, like as someone who was trying to lead the theater versus trying to lead the show versus trying to like play a role. Oh my God. It was a lot. It was a lot. And so that show was very heavy for me because so the character was a beggar woman who, if you spoiler, but also be educated, was the original wife of Sweeney Todd. So in our version was Roger Pine, but previously was Randy Wilson. And so in my mind, Randy was very much in my mind as Sweeney Todd. Like Roger was amazing and he was so good. But also there was a part of me that always thought about Randy in that role. And she is this woman who is very much like worn by the time the story comes around to her. And she has to relive this sequence of events where she has to remember her family, like whether it's her daughter, her husband, all these things, she has to relive it. And it's this really like surreal moment on stage where it was me, but not me. And I'm looking down at half the cast staring up at me. So it's not just me memorializing Sweeney Todd, but it's me as a person memorializing Randy Wilson. Like I will never forget the day that he left us and the night that we had to perform after the fact. And I will never forget like the eye contact that I made with literally almost every person standing around that house, having to go through this like weird miming sequence of events about Sweeney, but it wasn't just Sweeney, it was Randy, and having this like guttural reaction to it that I could never recreate as an actress.
I mean, because when you're up there, I can hear it, and I remember that particular performance. It was extremely powerful. I mean, I don't remember.
Awful.
Yeah, I mean, it was powerful. It was because of all that and stuff. But I was like, I could tell you were experiencing everything up there.
It's a weird show in that role as an actress because it's very sequestering. So whenever I was on stage, everyone was off. Whenever I was off stage, everyone was on. And so I was alone the whole show. And so the night that he passed, it was like this really heavy moment that I feel like so many people were able to not celebrate, but able to like, they were able to commune together, and I was never able to be a part of it. And that was very disorienting to have to like watch everyone together, but then not be able to be a part of it, but then have to like acknowledge it separately. It was very disorienting.
Well, that opening scene when we all walk out and we're facing each other across we all like make eye contact with each other and we're like, nope, not looking at anybody.
And Catherine, I was off stage. I was literally off stage. It was like me and Chris Haley were off stage watching you guys. And so I'm watching people on stage make eye contact, and like everyone was like, all right, we're going to do the show. We're going to go. And then I watched everyone turn to each other as Roger came down, and everyone's faces like slowly like started falling. Like you could see it hitting people, and it was awful. It was awful. Goodness gracious. But okay, hold on. To make it about David, there's a weird moment, and I don't remember what song it was, but when I hear it, it's very triggering. So the day that Randy died, which was the last weekend of shows, he basically passed like between shows. So we finished our matinee, and it was a decision of like, do I go to the hospital or do I stay like with this group of people? And so it was me, and it was Roger, and it was Stacey Erskine, and I think it was Zach, and maybe like one other person. Like we went to lunch to be like, and it was this very, again, communal moment of like, well, this is the situation we're in. This is what's happening. And when we went back to the theater, David, you were playing the cello. And there was another instrument being played. Do you remember?
I think I tried to play something with Chris Hoffman, but I think it was just.
He wasn't back yet, but it was you playing Christmas songs. And I feel like there was another instrument being played.
Oh, Holy Night. I think everyone started singing.
Ugh. But I remember walking back into the theater, seeing David playing and hearing the song and seeing everyone, whether they were singing or just like sitting and listening. And it was this very like, again, communal moment of theater and feeling like something was different, but not knowing. And then I watched Richard Bradford walk from the lobby like to the end of the Red Theater Hall. And I saw him and he looked up and he was looking for me. And I was like, oh no. And then I saw Richard Bradford and I looked down at my phone and Emily Jordan had just texted me and I was like, this is it. This is it. But like being able to have that moment in a way that was so supported by his community always feels very good to me. Like when I think back on it, it always feels like, okay, but this happened, but look at what the result was. It was this person playing this instrument with all these people that were singing along. So it was this beautiful communion of theater people. And as tragic as it is, like, look what he made. Like, look what he did. I'm sorry to like bring it down, but like that moment will never leave me ever.
Wow.
Like an extension of, it was continuing on. He's continuing on. His life was then and is still continuing on.
Absolutely.
To this podcast.
No, I think about him all the time. I think about him all the time, like not just in like, would he appreciate this or would he think that I was doing a good job? But it's also like, would he make fun of this or would he have something snarky to say about this? Like it's all of those things that I'm glad that I have, because it wasn't all, I mean, David, like working with Randy wasn't all like, no. Sunshine and rainbows. Like it was really hard, but it's really fulfilling to be able to continue his legacy in a way that I know he would either approve of or be very judgmental of. And both of those are fine.
Both.
And I'm okay with it. Both. Porque no las dos? Like it's fine.
We've got about 4 minutes left on the live stream before we go into After Dark. Does anyone have any other questions for David Moreno?
What's your favorite dance number that you've done on the theater stage?
Ooh, good.
LOL. I want to rock.
Yeah, some of the Rock of Ages was really cool.
Hold the guitar. Pretend we're good.
Yeah. Well, I think it was no, it was like a big group number. I don't remember what song it was, but it was from Rock of Ages, where like we were coming from both sides and I was across from, I forgot her name. She just got married recently.
Madeline.
No.
Jackie.
Yeah, I was across from Jackie and I did like some kind of kick or something. I'm like, oh, that's cool. This seems fun. And we ended up in a triangle.
Wasn't Here We Go Again, was it?
Probably.
The Act One finale?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Okay.
Yeah. That was fun. And I didn't suck at it, I don't think. So that made it better.
You hit that note in the ceiling beautifully.
Appreciate it.
You brought up you got to sing High Enough. That's one of my favorite Damn Yankee songs. And Tommy Shaw, like those high notes that boy hits is just insane. My daughter and I would sing, she'd sing Tommy Shaw's part, not me. I'd sing Jack Blade's part. And in the car, just blasting it, being able, like that song. Oh, so when I didn't realize initially, it wasn't until I guess a few months after I'd met you that they had told me that you were in Rock of Ages as whatever that cat's name is. And Drew, thank you. And I was like, oh my God, I bet that was phenomenal. Like just being able to be a part of the show, one, but then two, having such a major part in a show that's just literally the songs you grew up with.
Yeah, that was pretty like at the time I remember, hanging out at my house afterwards, and probably I think Adrian and a couple other people were in my backyard. I'm like, I'm never gonna top this, am I? Like, this is the best, get, right? Because this is too cool, like just to sing like these awesome freaking songs. But I think the last show that I did, I'm pretty sure after that was the scariest song to sing because it was the hardest. And I remember it might have been like the day, like the penultimate show where I ate it. Like it was not good. And I was screaming with half a voice on stage and like, I just have to get through this scene and hopefully, you know, like just ignore the people that have to listen to it. I'm sorry that you're here having to experience that. But the last show, I'm like, I nailed it. And like I went back to stage and Adrian was there. I'm like, yes. I was so happy.
Heck yeah.
That was a tough one.
Uh-huh.
And you were also wearing a sequined jacket.
Yeah, a sequin jacket with a fishnet shirt.
Oh.
Well, that was great.
My favorite part was the like 30-second quick change I helped you with at the end of every rose. Like you would walk off, I'd have everything sitting there waiting.
Like, put it in my arms.
I think I was helping. I think Taylor and I were helping Madeline change at the time.
But literally,
same. Yeah.
Got him completely changed like before the end of the song. Like he walked off, the song is ending. He's fully changed and about to walk back on before the song has completely finished.
Yeah,
Always
nice saving grace.
Come off so quick. You know, when you
I watched you struggle bus like once during the dress rehearsal, and I was like,
everything Catherine does behind the scenes is deliberate. There is no way, it is an economy of deliberateness. I just made that up, but that's exactly what it is. Like she does not waste any movement of herself.
No, I have a full checklist that I gave Adrian from Matilda from like where she had to step in and be me. Because we knew going into it that I wasn't going to be there one day. So I like went through and I was like, this is everything I do. You don't have to do all of it. The kids are usually pretty good about knowing when I'm supposed to be doing things.
But I did things. I did it.
Here it is if you want to try.
Awesome. Well, David, thank you for joining us in After Dark. Everyone that is on right now or listening, you can join, all three of you. Although those three people may be the Dobsons and someone watching themselves.
They're still watching.
Thank you all. We're going to end the live stream. David, again, thank you. We'll
Thanks
see
for
you
having
guys
me.
next week. Well, I won't see you next week, but you'll see these other folks. Like,
Yeah, we got to figure out how we're going to